Alright, the 10 to 20 saga. A lot happened in the 10 to 20 saga now that I remember. Basically I found Warsong Gulch. I remember there was this Night Elf rogue that took me to the Warsong Gulch entrance out in the middle of nowhere in Ashenvale or wherever that place is called. And the very first game that I played of Capture the Flagstone Gulch, I was pretty much hooked for the next 3 weeks. Just in the 10 to 19 bracket. I didn't even bother to go grinding anymore. I just leveled up through Warsong Gulch, because that was the days when you could hand in 3 tickets and you get experience. Of course, a lot has changed since then, but that was my main modes of leveling from 10 to 20. It was just using the Warsong Gulch ticket thingies. Now this is when I met Ginny. Ginny is my oldest friend on Warcraft. Ginny entered at level 19 and I was only around level 15 by this time. And I didn't have any spec. All of my gear was like white store-bought items of suckiness. And Ginny, he comes along in like full blues and I'm like, holy crap, nice gear. And he's like, hey, thanks. And of course he's like molesting the fuck out of all the horde in there, and I decided, you know what, this guy's probably gonna carry the team pretty much the entire way through. So I better just heal him, because I really don't know how to play Warcraft. So Ginny was holding the flag in the middle of Warsong Gulch with like 2 or 3 horde on him. I think, yeah, no one was around him except for me, and there was like 2 or 3 horde on him. And he was running away, but then the second I put Blessing of Freedom on him and started healing him, he just started to like kill everyone, and it was hilarious just seeing him kill 3 people at once. And I stuck with him for the next few games that he played, which I think was around 4 of them. And during that time we kind of talked a bit, and you know, we were from the same server obviously, because back then it was just it wasn't cross-server PvP, it was just your server PvP. Which I kind of like a lot more, because if you find someone on the opposite team nowadays that's super annoying from a different server, you can't just find them out in the actual game and just gank their ass all day long. You have to go to the other server and then like whine and complain about them being stupid and stuff, and it just doesn't work. Even to this day, Ginny proclaims that how we met was... This is basically how he puts it. You healed me in the middle of Warsong Gulch while I was holding the flag. Instant friendship. What else is next? Alright. Back in those days, twinks were pretty rare, and there was only a select few from our server, especially because our server was pretty new. I think the server only was like 3 weeks old when I started playing it. So there was this one undead rogue with like dual wielding those level 19 blue maces that are like BOE. Yeah, he was using those, and his name was O'Reilly. O-R-E-E-L-Y. And we both condemned the name O'Reilly to hell, because he just kicked our asses so bad. Of course he had like 3 druid healers with him, but you know, that doesn't excuse his assholishness. And he would always just spam taunt whenever he was killing someone. And of course he always killed them because he was like totally epicked out and he had healers with him. So basically, yeah, I've known Jimmy. I call him Jimmy. I've known Ginny for the past, I don't know, year and a half by now. Oh shit, almost 2 years actually. He actually has an account on YouTube. It's like McNanoranima01. It's hilarious. Anyways, back to me. I got into Warsong Gulch so much at that level that I actually kept a tally of how many times the Alliance won and how many times the Horde won and how many points they scored in between those games. I actually have the tally to this day. In fact, I found it specifically for this video. And this is like 2 years old, so it's pretty historic. Alright, so it said that the final was when I finally stopped keeping track of how many Warsong Gulches I played. The Alliance won 7 times, and Ginny was in 4 of those 7, so yeah, that basically goes to show you one player can carry a team. Horde won, get this, 58 times, 58 to 7, and in that time, that doesn't seem right. How can the Horde only score 95 points when they've won 68 games? That doesn't seem right, does it? Whatever. I probably just got so furious that I didn't even bother writing down the points anymore. But yeah, that's pretty sad, isn't it? You know what? Even to this day, I still like Warsong Gulch better than 95% of everything else in the game. Warsong Gulch is like my haven. I just love it in there. I don't care if I'm getting my ass kicked. I don't care if I'm destroying everyone in the universe. I just plain love the game in there. You know, any game can actually have capture the flag in it. It's just Warcraft, the fighting, the kind of battle style, the kind of battle graphics of everything, and just the way everything looks and the way everything sounds and just the design of everything. It's just perfect for capture the flag. And actually my mindset at the time was 10 to 19 players got to play Warsong Gulch, and 20 to 29 players got to play a completely different game and just never got to play Warsong Gulch ever again. So I was absolutely delighted when I saw that I could go back into Warsong Gulch when I was 20, and that just made my day. Well, speaking of going into places when you're 20, Ginny actually did that hack thing where it's like you sign up for a battleground and then you level real quick, you hit level 20 and then you enter the game, so you're one level above the bracket. Of course we won that game, but it's hilarious seeing him like two-shot a whole bunch of little level 12 mages. And of course I had Blessing of Freedom on him the whole time and I was healing him, so it was basically an unstoppable machine, and that made my day. When Ginny logged off, I remember this, when Ginny logged off, slightly after doing the level 20 Warsong Gulch game, he said that I'll see you later, whatever, and he logged off, and I didn't see him for another 2 weeks. I was still doing Warsong Gulch, and I was around level 20 at that time, you know, just purely doing Warsong Gulch. And he logged back on 2 weeks later, and he said, like, he whispered me, and he was like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "I'm me." And he's all like, "Oh, well, you're the only one on my friends list that's online right now, and I can't remember who you are." And I was like, "I healed you in Warsong Gulch." And he was like, "Oh, I know who you are." And that was kind of when Ginny told me everything about himself, about how long he's been playing the game. He apparently was in the line to pick it up when it was first released. That's dedication right there. And then Ginny introduced me to Dead Mines. And Dead Mines was pretty much it was the instance that I was hooked on the second he introduced it to me. I actually remember asking Ginny one time, how do I get to like across the country or whatever, and he's like, you don't even know what flight paths are? And I was like, no, I don't know what flight paths are, tell me. And he gave me this long, and I mean extra fucking long, detailed explanation on what, one, flight paths were, and two, how to get from Ironforge to Hillsbrad or South Shore or wherever it is. And basically from that point on, I was Ginny's official stalker. And I remember one time he was in that Stormguard Keep in Hillsbrad, and he was just standing there for a little while, and I was just, hey Ginny, you there? Hey Ginny, hey Ginny, for like a few minutes. I think one of the final questions I asked was, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden he came back and he's like, raping face. And that made my day. I think I still use that term today. Hey Jer, how you doing? I'm raping face. Like, it just sounds like it could be another way for, hey, I'm fucking good. I'm raping face today. So that basically concludes it for the Warsong Gulch saga, which was 10 to 19. From level 20 to 30, I'm basically going to call that the Instance Saga, where I basically instanced the fuck out of every day, all day. I think I dead-mined until I was like level 27, and then finally people told me about other instances, but I'll get into that later. So yeah, needless to say, Ginny was basically my tutor starting out in Warcraft, and that was pretty helpful. He taught me basically everything he knew, just like a Jedi Master should. Oh, and Ginny still thinks Digimon is cool. Ha, Digimon. I think we even had a heated argument about which season of Digimon was better. I personally think season 4 was the best, but he says season 2 or 1, I can't remember. Fuck you, Ginny, it was season 4.